All right. Hi, I'm Matthew Coffey. I'm a freshman architecture major, and I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Okay. Hi, my name is Natalie Blakely. I am a freshman and my major is speech language pathology and I'm from Blackford, Indiana.
Okay. The first question I want to ask is how did you choose this class?
So when I was making my classes at the beginning of the year, they asked me what I was passionate about. And I kind of said that I was passionate about like the civil rights movement that happened and kind of just all the racial stuff that was going on. And so they're like, well, we have a class is about that. And I was like, oh, really? So they put me in that. And um, I was really excited to be able to be part of that. So, yeah,
Cool, cool. Okay. Did you have any expectations for what we talk about kind of in this class?
not really. I mean, from the reading and all the materials that we had to read, I kind of knew um, from that what we were going to be doing. But other than that, no.
Okay. Uh, what would you say your hometown was kind of like in terms of I don't know this class?
So, like, what my hometown is?
Yeah.
Okay. So I come from a very, very small town. It's about 30 minutes north from Muncie. Um, it is a very predominantly white town. I had about 140 kids in my class. There were probably about 4 African American kids in my entire school. It was not diverse at all. It was very white. I think that kind of played towards taking this class and kind of seeing the diverse and how diverse Muncie is. And so some of the stuff that we talked about in class, it was very new to me because I wasn't um, experienced the stuff that happened. So, but yeah.
Okay. Was it kind of a shock then coming from a smaller school to yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was. I mean, because of how close I lived, for field trips, we went to Ball State. So I kind of knew like what I was expecting. At the same time, it was quite a shock um, how diverse it was. But
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay. So then did you ever think about race growing up, or did you ever have any talks about it in your high school?
Really, the only time that race was talked about was when the subject or the topic of the civil rights movement was talked about in history class. That's really the only thing. Um, with this year, especially with the involvement of the Black Lives Matter movement and stuff like that, I mean, that's really the only stuff that I've gotten involved with and kind of gotten experienced with. But other than that, no, not really.
Okay. How did you get involved with that stuff?
With like the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yeah.
Um, I never thought that I would have, or I mean, never thought that I would be part of like politics. I grew up and I was like, I'm not gonna like politics are like not my thing. I don't really like them. And especially this year, my topic and like my ideas have changed a lot. And with the Black Lives Matter movement, just everything that happened, it kind of shaped my views into what was happening. And I was like, hey, like this really shouldn't be happening. Like this is bad.
Hmm.
And so I kind of not really hopped on the train of the Black Lives Matter movement, but I thought about my ideas and kind of what I wanted to perceive and what I wanted my ideas to be. So, yeah.
Okay. Um, did you see any other identity or social positions like gender, class, religion, kind of differences in that stuff in your hometown?
Not really. I mean, growing up as a female in the 21st century, I mean, you see a lot of stuff. And living in a small town, I didn't have to experience any of that. But I feel like if I would go to like a more diverse population or like a city, I feel like I'd probably get more experience to that. Um,
Okay.
which I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I haven't had to experience that. But yeah, no.
Okay. Um, have you ever experienced or witnessed any racism in your life?
I have not. I mean, I've experienced microaggressions. Um, a lot of boys at my school. I mean, a lot of people didn't really know what microaggressions were. So they would say, like, oh, you belong in the kitchen, stuff like that. Or you, like, I mean, the one that you hear all the time, you play like a girl, stuff like that. I mean, I didn't know that was a microaggression until like this year. I didn't know about that. And so I was like, wow,
Yeah.
it's definitely a,
Eye opening, kind of.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Has events of 2020, like the pandemic or activism or the election, has that affected any of your views on like politics or racism or any other thing?
Oh, definitely, yes. Like I said, I would have never thought that I would have gotten into politics. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I don't know about politics, but especially with this year and everything that's happened, it has especially changed my view and what I see is right and what I see is wrong. And like, I mean, people can have their beliefs and they can have their opinions, and I have my beliefs and my own opinions, and I understand that. Um, but yeah, definitely it has.
Okay. How would you describe race relations at Ball State? Have you had any experiences like that kind of, I don't know, exemplified kind of like how that interaction works out at Ball State?
Not really. I mean, the only thing that I've really been involved with would probably be like with this class and learning about
Yeah.
everything that's going on. But other than that, no.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of hard to experience too much with everything that's going on this year.
Yeah, COVID kind of puts a damper on everything.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Okay, so Ball State is historically pretty white.
Mhm.
So would you say that kind of like affected your perception of Ball State when you first entered it, or did that not really, like, I don't know, did you not even really notice that kind of thing?
I will say, for probably about the first week or two, I've really noticed that there wasn't, I thought it was going to be really diverse. And I was really surprised to find out how many like white people there were on campus. Um, but I mean, it is a small town and it is a small college. So hopefully, maybe later in life, that will change and there will be more diversity and more um, openness to that. But I think for now, I think it's just whites.
Yeah, okay. So you mentioned like personal growth throughout this semester. Would you like attribute that to like this class or like just experiences in general at college?
Oh, yes. Um, just everything. Like, I did not know half the stuff that was talked about in this class. That's probably why I was probably the quietest in the class.
Hmm.
I don't know if you realize that, but like I had stuff to say. It's just like with everything that people talked about, I was like my opinion and my thoughts didn't seem kind of as well known and educated as they did.
Hmm.
Um, and so learning about everything that happened this year, like learning everything in this class, it has definitely opened my eyes and has made me realize kind of how messed up the system, the societal system is, and kind of the world in general. But yeah,
Yeah, I can understand that. What do you think was the like biggest shock or the biggest thing you learned kind of in this class?
I mean everything was a giant shock.
Yeah.
Really, the main thing that kind of hit home, like I said, was microaggressions because I didn't realize how um, like what they were, and they kind of perceived more to like my life and how I've kind of been exposed to those. But I mean, everything in class was a big shock. I mean, I didn't realize how, like, I was exposed to like everything that was happening, like in the news and stuff like that, but everything behind the curtain was a big shocker. So,
Okay. How would you define anti-racism after taking this class?
hmm. The way that I see anti-racism is a way to kind of not really like, well, yeah, kind of to stop racism and kind of put your opinion and help people realize that what they're doing is racism and to kind of explain more into it and to perceive like better, like non-racist activities and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah. Do you think like your concept of anti-racism changed because of this class?
Yeah. Well, actually, before this class, I had no clue what anti-racism was.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, I was not exposed to a lot of stuff from my high school. So this class was a major eye opener and a big learner from learning everything, which I am very thankful for that because I mean, my beliefs and my opinions have definitely changed since that. Um, but yeah.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to say before we conclude the video?
Mm, I do not, but
Okay,
thank you.
that's fine. Well, thank you for doing this interview with me.
Yes, thank you.
No problem.